Good evening. As we enter week 3 of lockdown, I'm sure many of you have mixed feelings regarding COVID-19. I hope I can provide some clarity. Firstly, a massive thank you to the 95% of our residents who are abiding by the coronavirus bill which became law on the 25th of March 2020. More information on its contents is on the gov.uk website. To the 5% who are still continuing to disregard the law, I hope that what I'm going to say will finally hit home. We at Ashbourne are in a somewhat bubble. By this, I mean we live in a safe, rural location, and maybe we're not totally aware of what is going on around the rest of the country. We watch and listen to the news, and I'm sure some of you think, well, we're all right in Ashbourne. Well, we're not. Like all our local hospitals and medical practices, the Derby Royal is under intense pressure at the moment. The staff are working long hours, many of them being redeployed to cope with the influx of patients. Indeed, my own daughter has been redeployed. They are having to wear scrubs and PPE to keep them safe. And it's worth remembering that they have never had to face this virus before. So it's a massive learning curve for them as well as for us. It's also very frightening for them, especially to come home after a long shift and not know whether they have picked up the virus in hospital. These are normal feelings for our workers on the front line. Many of these workers live in Ashbourne and our surrounding villages. So I say to the 5% of our residents who have the attitude, it won't happen to me, think what you are doing, take some responsibility for your actions, stop being so irresponsible and selfish. We're in this together, and that includes you, whether you like it or not. And it's only together we can beat it. So stay at home, protect the NHS and save lives. This virus knows no bounds. And as we know, our own Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, is in intensive care. He's on oxygen, with a temperature and the persistent cough. He's conscious, and the oxygen enables him and other patients that are suffering from the same symptoms to breathe easier. As we know, struggling to breathe is one of the more serious symptoms. I'm sure you will all join me in wishing our Boris a speedy recovery. And our thoughts and prayers are with him, his family and friends. I'd also like to reassure all residents that the Cabinet can carry on running the country and making decisions even without the Prime Minister. The unhelpful, disgusting comments from the Mayor of Heanor really enraged me, not because of any particular alignment to a party, but because of the complete disregard for another human being. Inhuman springs to mind, and she's definitely not my kind of person. I'd now like to remind everyone of what our teams have been doing over the last 3 weeks. As you know, we split the town into 7 zones, and each zone has 2 to 3 facilitators and a team of volunteers. The facilitators for each zone are as follows. In Zone 1, Baz and Di Thraves. Zone 2 has Claire Files, Claire Bennett and Kay Platt. Zone 3, Tracy Foxon, Charlotte Wibberley and Katie Austin. Zone 4, Caroline Bennett and Alison Hanley. Zone 5, Margaret Sidders and Sam Howson. Zone 6 is Wendy Haslam. Zone 7, Lucy Connell, Linda Lehman and Emma Waring. Could I ask that you only use the Ashbourne COVID-19 Community Support Group if you have no family, friends, neighbours, support network or outside agency help, as our teams have their own families to care for. I'd also like to remind all our residents to be aware of their neighbours. Some may not have access to the internet, so ensure that they are okay. As I say, we're in this together. With regard to the doctor's surgeries, the opening times, etc., which are changing, are on their Facebook pages, and they are the Ashbourne Surgery and the Ashbourne Medical Practice. Food boxes. If you've received a letter or text about vulnerable food boxes and you don't need them, please either sign into the app or follow the instructions on the letter, and you can cancel them if you wish to do so. We heard from Her Majesty the Queen last Sunday. She spoke of unity and understanding. She also wanted to reassure us that we will succeed in this fight. She also acknowledged the grief and hardships some are facing during this coronavirus pandemic. She urged us all to show self-discipline and quiet resolve, because we have still more to endure. But better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again, and we will meet again. So on Thursday night, I hope you will join with me in clapping for our NHS and all our key workers. This show of support means we can all do our bit. This weekend will be Easter weekend. The weather looks favourable, but I urge you all to abide by the law. As these weeks go on, it's going to get increasingly difficult. But with over 700 deaths today, the highest number to date, it's even more important we do what we are asked. Our thoughts are with the families and friends of those who have died. So, stay at home, protect the NHS and save lives.